Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. All right. Continuing with Master YongHua's chant instructions, we're on slide number 367. I think we read the text already. Tell me when to stop. I think I sort of know where to stop, but remind me, please. He started by going into the section where he says, in Buddhism, there are different types of teachings that belong to the Agama or Hinayana, belongs to the Vaipulya or connective teachings that belong to Prajna or separate teachings that belongs to the lotus and nirvana period, or the perfect teaching. So there are many different types of teachings in Buddhism, and so people they tend to ask which type of teachings are we doing, and what is their specialty, what is it they are practicing, they're learning. So Master YongHua says, you're discriminating so much. I wonder why, what kind of people would ask for different types of teachings. It's kind of strange. No one really asked me about it. Usually they ask about whether this is Hinayana or Mahayana, but they never went into the kind of detailed information. Is this what the four types of teachings, which one it is we teaching, which ones that we are asking people to practice. So, all right? And so anyway, so Master YongHua says, for whatever the reasons, I think maybe some scholars or someone who knew about Buddhism, they asked him, and he says, there's so much discrimination of names, of marks, and nonstop. It's like to enter the ocean and count the sands, and this is this only brings you a lot of troubles. It's really counterproductive. Okay, so probably someone asked him, And Master YongHua says, you're trying to count the sands when you try to get into the ocean. So I guess the ocean floor still has a lot of sands. They try to count the sands in the ocean floor. It's not enough time for you to do that. It's the same as, so that's what happens when you discriminate in many names, many marks, and don't cultivate. So I guess the point he's making here is he's probably scolding someone, chiding someone, that they're asking about teaching types, and they really weren't interested in cultivation. Okay, I would have the same exact response. Okay, if you want to learn, you can learn from the books. You're free to learn from the books, and you don't need to come to the temple because the books are a lot more details. What we do at our temples is teach you how to cultivate and how to develop your wisdom. Okay, and that's how you become an asset to society. Our goal is to help you become a pillar of society, become an asset in society. Okay, so the emphasis is different. The emphasis is not so much about knowledge, but it's about making a difference with your life. It's about contributing. Okay, we're all being taught to develop skills so that you can contribute more to your work, to your family, to your neighborhood, and so forth. And so, to us, and that's the purpose of cultivation. Okay, there's some real concrete results, some real concrete contributions, not just talk. Not just I belong to this community under Master YongHua, and we are really the elite of cultivation. We find the most advanced cultivators there. They make progress fast, and they have rather interesting ways of doing Chan and doing Pure Land and so forth. None of that really is important. It's about you becoming an asset. It's about you making contributions more and more. Okay? Making a difference. So it's not so much about knowledge and be stuck on the names, because I'm pretty sure in about 10 years, 30 years, 50 years, because of the sheer size of you, of the people like you present in our communities, will be known as a special community, elite community. So that's the same attitude, same spirit that we have. We all adopt. That is, we want to make a difference. We want to have meaning in life. The meaning in life is to make a difference, make sacrifices to make a difference. Okay? And this is how you'll be happier. You'll be more satisfied with your lives. This is when your lives have more meaning. Because if you keep on focusing on yourself, just me, and it's not different from many names, many marks here that Master YongHua talked about. People who come and cultivate, it's always about me. Okay? We understand that when you first start out, of course, you're doing it for yourself. It's understandable. However, the mark of wisdom is that eventually, when you acquire more wisdom, your wisdom develops to a higher level, then you'll be less concerned about yourself, and will remind you. When you're lower level, I don't mind. When you reach a certain level, I will be stricter with you. I will remind you. Don't worry. We'll remind you. Okay? So here in slide 369, you discriminate so many names, many marks, and therefore you don't know cultivation. Just the names and marks here. Okay, now I think he's chiding that person who asked about knowledge and so forth. Okay, if you have some people who are like that, a lot of people are like that in our assembly as well. But that's acceptable because they are not at the level where they can rise above names and marks. Okay, names and mark here is one thing that's central to names and mark, namely me. Everything you do revolves around me. That's names and mark. That's the biggest mark. It's me. I promise you, we put up with you, we be patient, we help you develop your wisdom so that one day you'll be free from that. And even though you reach the level and you, because of the force of habits, you still are only plotting and planning for me, will remind you. Not worthy of your station. All right, this is going to the sea and counting the grains of sands. Okay? How could you go to the sea and count the grains of sands? Could you finish counting? So he says, probably this person asked for the teaching types, teaching marks. Master YongHua says, you are chasing after the wrong things. You see, it's kind of interesting the way he approaches it. He doesn't say that I can give it to you, I can teach you all those things. I'm sure he can. Okay, he's qualified. He knows a lot more than most professors, if not all the professors in Buddhism that I know of, maybe except for one. And so I understand that, but the way he approaches is kind of interesting. He says he chided this person by using the analogy of counting grains of sand in the ocean. The ocean is the analogy of Mahayana. Cultivation requires you to wade into the ocean. When you wade in the ocean, is what the ocean has to offer you. Boundless treasures. You know that? The ocean contains boundless treasures. Whether it's oil, whether it's rare earth, whether it's minerals, whether it's gems, precious metals, and so forth, it's boundless. Okay? And that's Mahayana. When you cultivate, you are entering the sea of boundless gems, of boundless wealth. Okay? And every time you improve, you become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier yourselves. It's yours. All right? I'm sure that you, even the end of the future, won't be able to count it all. Okay? He used the analogy here. You go into the ocean and count the sands instead of owning the sands, owning the ocean. All right. The Buddha Dharma is as deep as the great sea. See? And each person only attains their own treasures. And again, I don't understand why he goes here, but we're not there, so we don't know where he's going. Each person himself just drinks his Dharma water, becomes filled, but cannot dry out the sea. Teaching marker is also like this. So this Buddha Dharma, the treasures in the Buddha Dharma, when you study Buddha Dharma and you listen to sutras and you learn about the Buddha Dharma, okay, you are acquiring boundless treasures, and it's really boundless. Okay, you can acquire more and more treasures. And what is meant by more treasures is, I wanted to put it in very concrete terms for you. For me personally, more treasures means higher level of samadhi. Okay? It has specifics. Okay? More treasures to me is to wade deeper into the ocean. You have access to more and more treasures. Why stop there? You can go a lot deeper. Do not sell yourself short. Okay? There's so much better things for you. You keep on going and going and going. All right? Like many before you have done it already. The last 20 years. And a lot of people who got in very, very deep, let me tell you. That's what I'm very proud of. We may be small, but our people responded very well to the training. And it gives me the confidence to keep on doing this. Okay? Because They've gone very far, and now I'm beginning to train more and more people to take over, to train others. Not just me training, all of you. There will be more and more trainers, and more teachers everywhere. That's my ambition, God willing. Okay? So, teaching marks are also like this, okay? It's, don't count the sands, Master YongHua says. Don't just settle with saying, I understand, the Prajna Sutras, I understand the Agama Sutras, I read them all from book covers, from cover to cover, front to end. He says, that's just marks. What you want is the treasures contained in that ocean, okay? You want to own it. You don't just want to read it. That's too shallow. Okay? So he kept on chiding this person. You always discriminate this way and that way, and it's endless with you. And you are, it's your problem of your own doing, he says. Okay. Is this a new section? Okay, any questions about this? And so you see, from the last section, this is how Master YongHua taught his disciples. He had a lot of disciples, a lot of students who came and were very enamored with his, with Master YongHua's deep knowledge of Buddhism, of the Buddhist principles, of sutras and so forth. And they followed him. They studied, and he encouraged them to get PhDs, to get certified, to become an expert in a certain language, in Buddhism, in Chinese, in Sanskrit, and so forth. It's for a specific reason, to give more validity to their translation work, to have recognition for their contributions. And so that's important, I guess. It's a good starting point. All right? But it's not, personally, I don't find it to be that important. Thank God I'm not a patriarch, so I don't have to worry about it, worry about the Dharma being accepted. I can't care less. It's about you I'm only worried about. Yes, DTT, I'm worried about you developing your wisdom.
Emitofuo Master, hello. I just want to say that I am very happy to be finally here. And I want to thank you, Master, for all your support in my cultivation. Thank you for all your kindness, generosity, and for allowing me to be here and to be part of this community and to be part of this path where I can become an asset and contribute. So thank you very much, Master.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. You went through a lot of tests, and you're welcome. Welcome to DTT. I'm glad you're here. And the trials begin. Really begin now. Okay?
Yes, Master, I am very happy for this.
Eventually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank Master Xianxin, Venerable Xianpu, Venerable Xianfa, and all the Korean Sunims that helped me with my visa process. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. This woman is very determined. Okay, she's after. She wants something, he goes after it. It's very remarkable. Okay, that's a very good trait. Keep it up. The tests only become harder. Okay? Hang in there. All right. But you're in good company. There are a lot of people in Korea who are very good cultivators, so it's a very good environment to go there. All right? Blend in and contribute and be humble.
Yes, Master. Thank you very much.
Our trademark is humility. Okay? You don't impress me with your knowledge. You don't impress me with your samadhi. You don't impress me with your attainment. You only impress me with your kindness and compassion, and you impress me with your humility. All right. Next section, please go ahead.
你看我比任何人都持戒，我是日中一时，我是树下一行。
Those who practice upholding precepts still have an attachment to the precepts.
比任何人都持戒，我是日中一时，我是
Look at me. I observe precepts more than anyone. I take only one meal a day at noon.
树下一行，行头横。
I pass the night beneath trees, practicing the ascetic way.
那么经持戒律，你能持而不持，持戒而没有一个指招持戒的心，那才是真正持戒。
So vigorously upholding the precepts. If you can uphold while not upholding, uphold the precepts, yet without a mind that is attached to upholding the precepts, only then is true observance of the precepts.
密宗的金刚上师，求得到这个三昧的加持，诵这个咒语。
In esoteric Buddhism, the Vajra master of esoteric Buddhism practices and receives the empowerment of samadhi and recite this mantra to invoke its power.
那么本来诵这个咒律，得到这个金刚的加持，这是金刚。
Originally, when reciting this mantra, one receives Vajra empowerment, this Kalikila Vajra.
这密宗呢，有金刚部，有宝生部，有莲花部，有结魔部， 有佛部，就分五大部。
In esoteric Buddhism, there is the Vajra division, the Ratna division, the Padma division, the Karma division, and the Buddha division. It is divided into 5 major divisions.
在这个世界上啊，这个魔王多得很。要有一个持咒的人呢，这魔王就不敢出世。
In this world, there are many, many demon kings. If there is one person who upholds the mantras, then these demon kings do not dare to appear.
That's the end of the slides. We can go on to the next one right now.
Okay, let's finish these slides then. Okay, next section, he says, there are people who practice holding precepts and they still have an attachment to holding the precepts. 执着 is attachment to holding the precept, not just the precepts. All right, this is no small thing. In this Dharma editing age, there's a lot of people who learn, study precepts, but really don't uphold precepts. So it's a very, very hard thing to do. So those people, especially among Master YongHua disciples and that community, they are stricter, pure with the precepts. So they tend to be proud of it. When I was in Taiwan, I joined a temple that specialized in studying precepts and upholding precepts. So they revered, they highly regarded because of that. So yes, there's some attachments to the people who can uphold precepts because it's a rather rare thing to be able to do, right? It turns out those people in Taiwan, Taichung, actually they understand more about precepts than my master's temple at Master YongHua's temples, because Master YongHua really didn't teach us that much about precepts. Okay, he taught enough for us as an expedient. Okay, the core precepts, the core rules, but he really didn't teach my generation that much about precepts. So as a result, on the men's side, most of the monks there don't understand precepts. Okay, there's probably 1 or 2 who study precepts a little bit, but their level is too low, therefore they don't understand precepts at all. There are monks who are higher levels, don't understand precepts at all. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. It's a mixed bag. So, and that's a drawback I saw, it's a weakness I saw in Master YongHua's approach, in that they really don't understand precepts at all. Okay, so and that causes problems. They don't understand precepts, and therefore they don't understand what constitutes a violation, what constitutes an exception at the precept marks level, and then they don't understand precept substance either. So technically, you see, even though these people, they are strict with precepts, practices, but the depth is not there. Similarly, I went to places where people actually study these precept books and precept ceremonies and precepts traditions and so forth, but they don't understand precepts substances. So on one end, say some people, like in my master's environment, they have the substance, but they don't understand the precept marks. On the other hand, outside of my master's temple, they understand the precepts marks, meaning they understand the actual description of the precepts, the books and so forth, but they don't have the precept substance. In Buddhism, you need to have both for you to be considered to be like Master Hsuan Hua's level, where he is a Dharma master, a Tripitaka Dharma master, meaning he mastered the Vinaya, which requires you to understand precepts marks as well as precept substance. Why does it matter? It matters because, and you cannot take this lightly. If you're serious about it, you're serious about propagating Mahayana, and you're serious about being like the expert or a leader in Buddhism, okay, and that you are the standard for Buddhism, you need to understand precepts more. Otherwise, you cannot really teach. Yes, 8. I saw it in these people, which motivated me to go study precepts.
Thank you, Master. When we participate in the taking refuge ceremony and then take precepts after that, that's when the precept substance is transmitted to us, correct?
That's correct. When you, excuse me, when we transmit precepts to you, we transmit two things. We transmit the precept marks, and we also transmit the precept substance. All right? Yeah. And so precept marks are the words, are the ceremonies, you know. For example, when you take refuge or triple jewel, and we advise you to take the 5 precepts and transmit the 5 precepts to you, we also are, the precept marks are the ceremony itself, and then the description of the 5 precepts that we give you, okay? But on the other hand, you also are transmit to you the precept substance, okay? Precept substance is the thing that comes from your teacher. Namely, at our small community, is from me. And that's very important, because if my precept substance is impure, has problems, then you will have a hard time upholding precepts, and you cannot go very far. You cannot go very far, period. You cannot make progress. You cannot climb up there. You cannot achieve the heights that our people have achieved. So my point being that the precept substance matters because it has to come from the teacher, from the master. All right, just like wow, it's just kind of delicate. The more I get into it, the more I sound negative. If the precept substance is not there, it limits how far you can go. Even though Master YongHua's precept substance is very high, on the other hand, it's also the person who's practicing who's not pure enough will not go very far either. So it works both ways. Yeah, continue. Is there a follow-up?
Thank you, Master. I thought I would try a straight-minded follow-up respectfully. With the quality of your precept substance that gets transmitted to us during that ceremony, we then have the opportunity to uphold the precept. I'm going to use the lying precept, or no lying precept as the example. And that's the foundation for us to uphold the precepts, but the marks of the precept is the words that are said when it's transmitted during the ceremony, not, is it also like the actions that we take when upholding the precepts moving forward?
The precept marks are the things that can be observed. Like the description of the non-lying precept is a precept mark. The ceremony that we use to transmit the precepts to you is also a precept mark. Precept substance is something that's invisible, that pertains to that's invisible, that is the essence of the purity of the precept.
So when we're truthful, is that also a precept mark? And does that increase our precept substance? Or improve?
When you receive the precept transmission, you would have received my precept substance already. Okay? It's like a dowry. The precept substance is like a dowry. You have those blessings, they call it money, like a dowry, okay? You have that money there that's given to you already. It's yours until you lose it, until you renounce it, until you destroy it, okay? So the precept substance is there. So for example, during the ceremony, we go through the ceremony that's precept marks. Something observable is called marks. Anything that you can observe, you can describe, is called a mark. Is that clear? Anything that you can describe by, and you can hear, you can see, you can smell, you can taste, you can touch, you can think of, all those are marks. Substance is something invisible that's given to you, okay? And that's your dowry, okay? That you own. All right? And this is something that pretty significant. Even you given that, okay? You're given that dowry, but you cannot have access to it. Your access to it depends on your level of purity. The purer you are, the more of the precept substance you own, and more and more and more. Okay? That's how it works. However, if the precept substance that's given to you are limited, this is why, by the way, the monks and sunnims are very serious before they do a precept transmission, whether it's 5 precepts, 10 precepts, or bhikshu precepts, bhikshuni precepts. They isolate themselves for months, for a while, so that they purify the precept substance so that it can be transmitted. And these actually are very senior monks and nuns who have been around, so they harness the precept substance so that they can transmit it to the preceptees. This is a very, very big deal in Buddhism because this is a dowry. Okay? It's like a dowry. You given this treasure that enables you to go very far. All right? If the precept substance is very limited, it's a very small asset to you. The dowry is very small for you. You will use it, you'll be able to access it until you reach the end, its limits. Then you struggle a lot more in your cultivation. Where if your dowry is huge, then you can go very, very far, all the way. Whatever all the way means. All right? So it matters for us professionals. This is why precept transmission is very important. For us, we take it very seriously. Yes, 3. And this is something that I'm afraid my peers don't understand. This is why they can't really help the next generation at all. Okay, because when you do this ceremony, you actually are responsible for conferring the precept substance to the next generation. Okay? You cannot say that I'm doing this on behalf of Master YongHua, who's dead already. It doesn't work like that because my teacher is gone. Okay? He doesn't do that anymore. If you can do that, think about it. If you can do that, if I'm after I'm dead, and my next generation, these people, they said, I know you love Master YongHua so much. Not true? Okay, never mind. Don't worry. When you take refuge with us, you're still taking refuge with Master YongHua. He's dead, but you're still his disciples. And so when we do a refuge for you, we're transmitting his precept substance to you. It doesn't work like that. If that were true, what's the problem with that statement? If that were true, why would you bother transmitting my precept substance to them? Why don't you transmit Emitofuo precept substance to them? Why don't you transmit Wanyi Bodhisattva precept substance to them? Isn't it better? You see? Be careful. When you don't understand precept, you do stupid things like that. Okay? Is it clear? If you really understand at all, you don't do stupid things like that. It's nonsense. I try to tell people, but no one believes me. Yes, 3.
Two YouTube questions. So the first one's from Dintai, 1846. Master, is there a book you recommend for the best understanding of the precepts or a resource to read?
Precepts are for the people who take precepts and they receive training. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources in English for you. There are some materials in Vietnamese, in other languages, but in terms of English, it's very, very limited, unfortunately. Okay, I don't know about the Hinayana people, but for us, outside, the translation is not there, and it's too bad. It's no real good reference for you. Okay. I read a lot of materials in Vietnamese, in Chinese, and so forth, but not much in English. Okay, and so That's unfortunate, but it's not necessary. You can still become enlightened without knowing everything. The problem is when you try to transmit precepts to the next generation, that's when it becomes a problem. Okay, if you do stupid things.
And the second one's from Rulai 9643. Master, does our precept substance stay with us lifetime after lifetime? Thank you.
Short answer, I hope so, but no guarantee. Okay, so those who practice holding precepts still have an attachment to the precepts. Okay, so this is what happens to the people who practice precepts and uphold the precepts purely, and they have an attachment to the precepts, they're upholding the precepts purely. I don't teach people that way, but this is the traditional Chinese style of teaching. Okay, it's okay to do it this way, to explain it this way. But that's Master YongHua. Okay, I do it differently. Look at me, I observe precepts more than anyone, and I only take one meal a day at noon. So he's referring to some of his disciples who are able to keep precepts, the 10 precepts, bhikshu precepts. I know everyone breaks bhikshu precepts and bhikshuni precepts, so I don't know who he's talking about, okay? But this person here somehow believes that they are keeping precepts, observe precepts more than anyone, and I take one meal a day at noon. Okay, this is Master YongHua disciples clearly. Or I pass the night beneath trees practicing the ascetic practices. Okay, this refers to a broader case where back in the Buddha's time, his disciples practiced under trees. They didn't have buildings, didn't have temples back then. They sat under trees and they live under trees, and they practice ascetic practices. Those were the days. And so vigorously upholding the precepts, okay. And here's Master YongHua says, he's trying to teach his students. What year was this? I don't think his students in the early years were not that good to be so proud, really. I can't think of anyone who would be high level enough to be so proud like this. It's interesting. Their all level is very low. I don't see why they should be so proud of it. And it's interesting how Master YongHua teaches them. For me, I give you a slap on the face right away, okay, or hit you on the head. In Vietnam, it's called kido. You know what kido is? You want demonstration? Huh? Kido. Huh? Woman, come. This is kido. You see what I mean? You understand right away, right? Okay, so Korea has this too? Okay, we kido. Okay. Đập cho mày chết. I beat you to death. Okay. So, this is Master YongHua. He's so gentle. He's such a gentle soul, you know. He will not physically do anything physical to you. I'm a physical guy. I slap people. I kido, you know. I kick people. So I like it. It's so much more elegant. You know, say, come closer. Let me explain something to you. Come, woman, come. Okay, and so, but he's kind of chiding them. He said, we are upholding precepts is a good thing, but you still have attached to upholding precepts. Okay, so he's referring to upholding the precept marks. You see, all these are appearances, outside only. All right, and that's not a true observance of precepts. You still attached to upholding precepts. No, I would not teach it this way, but that's how he chose to teach them without having to beat them. I beat the heck out of you, and I explained everything. Stop it, Don't have to speak so much. Okay. In esoteric Buddhism, is that the next section? Okay, almost. In esoteric Buddhism, the Vajrayana says esoteric Buddhism practice is receive the empowerment of samadhi. Okay, so in Tantra things, so esoteric Buddhism is secret school, the secret school, the 5 schools in Buddhism, secret school 1 of the 5, and so you practice mantras, but actually, it says right here, you don't simply practice mantras. You practice mantras and hope that you have enough samadhi to uphold the mantra. This is a very important distinction. People nowadays, they're so crazy about getting transmission from mantras. It's just give me a mantra, transmit me a mantra. Can you transmit some mantras to these exotic mantras, these powerful mantras? But they never understand how to develop the samadhi to recite mantras. Because without samadhi, your mantra, you'll have no power in your mantra recitation. Is that clear? Okay? This is very important distinction. See, Master Hsuan, he understands so much. His teaching is very, very precise. It's so complete. So when you recite this mantra, you have this mantra power, Zhou Li. Okay? It's called Keli Kila, whatever. I don't know what that means. Something Sanskrit. Chu Jin Gang, I don't know what this is. Okay? I have no idea. Okay, he's, by the way, Master YongHua is an expert in secret school. He understands about mantras. Okay, and this is not my forte. This is his strength. Is really, he understands so much about mantras. I think he understands most about mantras than anything else I can think of. Okay. See, we all have specialties. I think his specialty is mantras. So he understands this part here. In the secret school, there's 5 divisions. Okay, and this he talked about this when he explained the Shrangama mantra. Okay, Shrangama mantra has 5 divisions. That's why you have 5 sections, by the way. Section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the different names here: Vajra, Ratna, Padma, Kama, and Buddha division. Okay, that's the secret school. And he says there are many demon kings. It's like there are many bodhisattvas. Surprise, surprise. Okay, and there's one person who upholds mantras, and these demon kings do not dare to appear. I wish they would stop saying these things. It's not true. Okay, I remember I memorized the Great Compassion mantra, and then memorized the Shrangama mantra. I was so proud. I said, wow, These are the two most powerful mantras on earth. Okay? I'm so cool. I have power. I have nothing to fear. And guess what happened? Demon King came and kiddo. Say what? So he says, scare me. See if you can scare me, boy. This is not true. I wish these Chinese stop saying these things because it's not true in my personal experience. After that, I never dare think that, hey, what's a big deal? You don't know how much I have to suffer to spare you the troubles. So, indulge me, allow me to kiddo, to simplify it for you, huh? Okay? Yes, 3.
감사합니다. 제가 두 가지 질문이 있는데요. 하나는 한 500년 전에 한국에 일본이 한국을 침략했을 때 한국의 그 대비가 전혀 안 돼가지고 승려들이 맞서 싸웠습니다. 그래서 그 사명대사라고 유명한 스님이 계셨는데 굉장히 위력이 있고 아무래도 일본 사람들을 많이 그 부하들이 살상을 입혔겠죠. 그런데 그런 국가가 어려웠을 때 군인이 나가서 싸워가지고 상대방한테 살상을 입힌 것이 죄를 범한 것일까요? 아니면 그 결과가 어떻게 되실는지 그거 하나 궁금합니다.
Master, I have 2 questions. Number 1 is about 500 years ago when Japan attacked Korea. The Korea was not really ready to fight with Japan. So at the time, there were very famous and powerful Sinin. His name is 사명대사. So he fought with the Japanese, although he was a monk. So when the country is falling into this difficult time, there's really enough preparation. So this Sinims became a soldier and fought against Japanese, and then they committed a lot of killing. Is that breaking precept?
Yes.
그렇습니다.
Absolutely. You cannot kill.
알겠습니다. 두 번째 질문은 어제 노산사에 처음으로 가봤는데 정원이 아주 울창하고 장엄했습니다. 근데 제가 보기에 정문에서 왼쪽 울타리에 보면 나무가 너무 울창해가지고 별로 크게 도움이 안 될 것 같아서 과감하게 한번 가지치기를 해야 될 것 같은데 그런 경우에도 저촉이 되겠습니까? 나무가 너무 커서 낙엽도 많이 떨어지고 지저분한데 과감히 가지치기를 해줘야 될 것 같은데 그럴 경우에 나무를 자른다는 것이 일단은 계를 범하는 건지 어떤 절차를 거쳐야 되는 건지 그거 궁금합니다.
So yesterday is my first time visited Lu Mountain Temple. I could see the garden was really full and then it was adorning. There were really big trees, but there were so many branches in there. So in this case, if he just cutting these branches and then make less, less messy?
Trim the branches, yes.
Is that committing breaking the precept?
It's not quite breaking precepts, but you are damaging the dwellings of the spirits. Is that why you have 2 black eyes? You now explain to me why now all of a sudden I saw you 1 black eye, now you have 2 black eyes, so you look just as cute as a dog. Don't do that. They get very upset. The trees, especially the big trees, there are a few big trees there. That's where the spirits live. Okay, so you don't want to arbitrarily cut and trim the branches. What you do at the temples, what we do is we talk to them. The tradition from Master YongHua is we hang a sign, hang a piece of paper and says, "Hey, tree spirit, I'm going to trim the branch. Make sure your kids don't hang on the branches because if they fall, it's not my fault." That kind of thing. So we give them a warning so they don't get upset. Okay, when early days at Lu Mountain Temple, I made mistakes too. I was very cavaliering. So I said, I'm the boss, like it or not. So I need to cut down this big tree here, which the roots are deep, and they're about this far away from the building. The fence is here, the building is here, about the width of this hallway here, this aisle here. And so I said, the roots are so big that you can see it. It appears on the ground. So you see going into the building, I said, you cannot destroy my building. This is a temple, you cannot destroy it. So I ordered Master Z to cut down the tree. I was smart, okay? You would not find me anywhere near that tree. So I ordered Master Z to cut, right? C or U? Master C, okay? And you remember the story, what he told you? Go ahead, Master Z told me the story. I'm smart, I know these things.
He don't remember the whole story because he did it before me, but then he prayed to the tree spirit, to he did some kind of ceremony.
Yeah, there is a huge tree, okay, by the entrance to the Buddha Hall on the one side of the street, the side street there. There's an entrance, okay, and this big tree right there, and I think we trimmed the trees or something. I asked him, well, let's cut it down because it's gonna grow bigger and bigger. It falls into the building, or the roots will destroy the foundation of the building, so let's cut it down. So he started trimming it, and I think they sort of like threw him down or something. He was climbing. This is an old man, 60-year-old, okay? 20 years ago, he's 60 years old. He climbed on the tree with his chainsaw, the steel chainsaw. I bought it for him, okay? This beautiful steel chainsaw, okay? And he was, I think they threw him down, and he nearly died. I wish he were here, okay? Anyway, we hope that he'll come back, okay? So that I can make amends. But I was smart. I said, cut it, okay? And I ran. They got very upset. Old man, this is why your face is black. Yes, sir. Now Jesse has his own stories to tell.
So, quick question. I've cut a lot of branches and grass and trees and things. Should I be like hanging up a sign beforehand every time I do this as well?
Oops. Okay, the grass is okay. The reason being the grass, they also live in the grass, but those are like ants. They're harmless. They can't do much to us. Okay? But the bigger trees, you have to be careful. Oh, by the way, the tree in front of the front yard there, the big tree now, just before the Erstop Bodhisattva statue, we need to uproot it. Okay. Good luck to you. The bigger trees, you have to be careful. They're very, very powerful. Those spirits, they get very vicious. They get upset. Because I've had my share of destroying big trees because of, in the interest, in the name of protecting my temple, I say, I don't care, okay? You have to move. But I could have been a lot more polite. They did get upset, okay? I think they sort of threw XC down the tree, and somehow he not killed or broken anything. It's weird, okay? Or I think he was trimming the big tree on the roof as well, and you fell down as well, right? And then someone caught him as well. So these people, they survived these crazy things. I would never do those things. Be careful, old man, okay? Don't get a third black eye. Okay? Usually it's best that you have a bigger trees, okay, like the tree in front there. You have to say, hey, I'm very sorry. It's not my fault, but my boss orders me to cut you down. You have a problem, talk to him. Don't shoot the messenger, you know. So they'll have to deal with Master Z. Yes, JMT.
마스터께서도 말씀을 하셨고 제 예전에 그 송광사 마스터도 말씀을 하셨어요. 그 대승, 그러니까 마하야나는 모든 것을 everything을 including 하지만 오만한 거, 에러건트한 거는 포용하지 않는다. 그러니까 마스터도 말씀하셨고 예전에 송광사 마스터도 말씀을 하셨었어요. 한번 끊을게요.
Master said, and also previous master from Songgwangsa told us that Mahayana includes everything. We never be arrogant, and that cannot be accepted.
제가 궁금했던 거는 오만한 건 배울 수가 없기 때문에 자기 자신을 해치는 거지만 악한 거는 다른 사람을 자기 그 과보를 받기 때문에 자기 자신도 해치고 타인도 해치는 거잖아요. 또 한번 끊을게요.
So being arrogant, one cannot help himself and cannot learn. So it's a self-hurting. But being evil, it's about karma. You're making a retribution. So that affects the person.
물론 이제 마스터의 악이라고 참고로 그냥 그 악에 대한 이불에 대한 저의 데피니션은 예를 들면 어플릭션이 매니지가 안 돼서 뭐 독이 포이즌이 주변에 스플릿이 될 수는 있지만 타깃을 정해서 계획해서 그것을 실행에 옮기는 걸 저는 악이라고 규정하거든요. 그래서 저는 궁금했던 건 오히려 오만한 것보다 악한 게 더 위험한데 왜 대승이 오만한 건 리젝하면서 이불은 인클루딩 하는지 질문 드립니다.
So my definition of evil means somebody purposely go after someone and attack them. They plan it, they make a target, and then they attack someone. Being arrogant is not accepted. But however, how the Mahayana accept being evil?
I don't understand the question. What does it have to do with us?
그러니까 제 질문은 대승이 오만한 거보다 악한 게 더 위험한데 왜 오만한 걸 포용하지 않으면 수용하지 않으면서 악한 걸 수용하는지가 제 질문의 포인트예요.
I think the evil is more something that we cannot. Being evil is more danger, but how come we're saying that Mahayana cannot accept the arrogance, but still Mahayana is accepting being evil?
Where do we say that we don't accept arrogance? Who says?
제 예전에 예전에 송광사 참마스터다 말씀하셨고 마스터께서도 예전 법문에서 오만하면 가르치지 않는다라고 말씀을 하셨어서 네, 질문드립니다. 이해가 안 됐어요.
I couldn't understand, Master, because you told us once, and also another synonym in Songgwangsa told us, if one is arrogant, they would not teach them.
악한 사람이 수행을 해서 진전하면 삼매와 지혜가 악한 쪽으로 더 이렇게 뭐라 해야 되나 익스피디언스가 더 인크리스 되기 때문에 더 위험하지 않나요?
So, for example, an evil person cultivate and make a progress, and their samadhi increase. Does that mean their evil influence is much bigger and larger?
How do you go from arrogant to evil again? You're jumping back and forth. Choose one. You cannot have both. This is the third question now.
그러면 저는 오만한 걸 선택하겠습니다. 왜 오만하면 대승이 오만한 걸 받아들이지 않은지 질문드립니다.
Okay, Master, I'll select arrogance.
Arrogance.
Why
Okay.
Mahayana doesn't accept arrogance?
It's not Mahayana, it's just me who do not like arrogant people. Mahayana is a lot more tolerant than me. Okay, the reason I talk like that is because there's some people, some of my disciples, they're pretty good, but they're still very arrogant. The attainment is pretty good compared to where they came from when they first came to us. They've come quite a ways, and in most places, like in my master's temples, it would be acceptable because their attainments are pretty remarkable. But to me, I still feel that, and so it's acceptable. They're proud of it because it's quite a feat to be able to go that far. But for us, I do expect them to go a lot further. And one of the things that stops them is their arrogance. Because they're so low in our world, that's why they're still arrogant. They can't even see, in spite of my warning them, that there's so many people who are much better than them. Many of my disciples are better than them, but they still feel they're special, they're better, because they only look down. They look at all the other people, the peers, where they came from, and so forth, and say, wow, I'm so special, and I'm so much better than these people. So their arrogance is justified, but I teach them differently. I said, if you're arrogant, then it's very hard for me to continue to teach you, because if you're arrogant, teaching you, your arrogance will make it harder for you to continue to make progress. So there's no point in me teaching you. It has nothing to do with Mahayana and accepting arrogance. You all arrogant. We still accept you. Okay? It's about each person. The instructions is different for each person at different times. At times, I encourage you to be arrogant. So at times, I tell you, you cannot be arrogant. So it varies constantly. It's like, I'm wishy-washy. Sometimes I like it, and I accept anything. And sometimes I'm in a bad mood, tough luck. I'm wishy-washy. Okay? That's the only explanation. All right, JC.
안녕하십니까, 마스터. 먹는 것에 대한 질문 드리겠습니다. 오신채로 된 분말과 약간의 육류와 해산물 그리고 계란 섭취에 있어서 기력이 딸릴 때 어쩔 수 없이 주기적으로 간헐적으로 먹게 됩니다. 이게 제과제로서 장기적으로 어떤 장애나 제지가 있을지 궁금합니다. 고맙습니다. 예.
Hi, Master. I have a question about food, what I'm eating. So, for example, 5 pungent food, they're in powder. Sometimes meat, a little bit of egg, or sometimes seafood. So once in a while, when I feel that I don't have enough energy, I eat these kind of food. In a long term, as a cultivator, is there going to be any difference?
Not really. If you are a layperson and you choose to uphold the 5 precepts, you can eat meat, you can eat seafood, you can eat anything you want, including the 5 pungent plants. Okay. However, I mean the precepts do not prohibit you from eating the 5 pungent plants unless you take the Bodhisattva precepts, which you vow not to eat the 5 pungent plants. But we have not transmitted the Bodhisattva precepts yet. Okay, I don't like it because you cannot have sex anymore. Okay, forever. Just in case. And no one complained yet. Okay, but in general, you have a lot of leeway in your practice. Okay, you don't have to be vegetarian. Okay, and it's understandable because it's better. You can be vegetarian. Here's my problem. When we started eating vegetarian, I started like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, since I started practicing Master YongHua's Dharma. And one day, after 15 years, one day I broke a bone in my foot, and I had to go see a doctor. Okay, one of the rare cases, 1 or 2 times I had to go see a doctor in my entire life as a monk. The doctor prescribed me, he says, how come your bones is not healing? You're not eating enough protein. So I said, why aren't you eating enough protein? I said, I'm vegetarian. He says, then if you're vegetarian, eat things like that are higher in protein, such as green beans and tofu, edamame, and so forth, okay? And I said, okay, I can come back. So I ate more protein, and sure enough, my bones healed. Okay, and I realized the reason I never pay attention is because of my teacher. When I started practicing, I read Master YongHua who said you should be vegetarian, and you shouldn't worry about what you're eating. So I followed that for 15 years, and after that experience, I realized that you have to pay attention to your diet. You need to have enough protein. Okay, so don't be crazy. You lay people, you are vegetarian, make sure you have enough protein. Make sure you eat enough. If you feel like you are low in energy, eat something to give you energy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you eating meat, eating fish, if that's what you need to do. Okay, but what you ought to do as a lay person is not indulge in killing to eat. Don't go and hunt a deer, for example, with your bow and arrow. The Koreans have such beautiful bow and arrows. Okay. And you shoot the deer, and you skin it, and you eat it. Okay. Vietnam, we hunt differently. We use a 50 caliber machine gun. We go, okay. You kill a lot more, okay, a lot faster. Well, anyway, so it's okay for you to eat those things. I'm not horribly worried about it. The reason being that if you're a vegetarian, your body's probably a bit healthier that way, okay? But make sure you have enough protein, all right? That's very, very important. So you have to pay attention to your diet. The vegetarian diet is very low in protein, okay? You have to pay attention. I try to tell my people here, but they don't. So that's why some of my Sanghans encourage them to work out like I do. And so you need to eat more protein. I pay for it. It's not a problem for us. If you need to have soy milk or eat things to have protein powder or whatever, I don't care. We take care of it, okay? Don't worry about it. You have to go to watch your diet. You cannot ignore the diet, all right? So it's okay. If you feel like you need more energy, then it's because your regular vegetarian diet is not high enough in protein and nutrition. You have to be careful, okay? Yeah. Of course. This is why people eat meat, not only because of flavor, but the fact is that they're much higher in protein. Meat is 2 or 3 times, gives you 2 or 3 times more protein than tofu and all those things. That's how it is. Okay? Have to be careful. Watch your diet. JMT.
Hello, Master. I just finished my fasting last night, and in total is 13 days. Later,
13 days? That's a very unlucky number.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the maximum time I can get. Later, I will go to airport.
You are not superstitious? Never mind, continue, sorry. But the little things I avoid, like Friday the 13th, you would never see me get out of the house.
Next time, add 1 day or more.
1 more day. Yeah, or one more, quit one day early or something. I avoid 13 for some reason. Continue. So you're going to the airport today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also for the 13 days, for this day's fasting, in fact, I'm always much more energy.
What? You should have gone 14. Okay, never mind. Okay,
at
very
the
good.
13 days, I feel hungry. Yeah, but except that, every day I feel much more energy compared to last time. And also...
No cheating? You didn't cheat at all when you... How much do you lose in terms of weight?
I didn't wait.
You're supposed to weigh yourself. Oh, by the way, when you fast, you should kind of weigh yourself to kind of keep track of how much you're losing every day. Okay, folks? Be careful. Looking at her, she probably lost about 20 pounds.
Later we'll get some back.
I think she probably lost some hair as well. I don't see as much hair as before.
This is hard to count.
That's impressive that she's only hungry recently. Okay, that's interesting. This is the part I hate about, I don't know about you, I don't like fasting. I'm so hungry.
I think maybe it's because last time 40, I got the energy, and after that, always have the energy all the time. I think at the 10 days after I drink water, I become a little tired at the 10 days. But at the 11 days, it's become a little normal. Yeah. So I want to thank you, Master, and thank all the Sanghas in GMT support us, and also Venerable Xianjing fully support us, always accompany with us. Thank you all. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. Are you working? Do you have a job? 14 days.
During fasting, also I'm handling some working stuff.
Oh, you are working while fasting. I see.
I have some that make me very manic at those days.
Okay. Okay, well, congratulations. I'm glad that you tried it, and it's too easy for you. Maybe do something harder. Like, I don't know. What can be harder for her? Let me think. Okay, good job. Okay, keep it up and you'll be...
Also, during the fasting, I trying to sit most of the time. So maybe also it give more energy to me.
Yeah, that's good. You have some kung fu. That's why you're above getting hungry. That's very good. What kind of samadhi is that? We need to research this and make sure they don't go into this, because they're supposed to suffer. If you fast, you don't suffer. It's not called fasting, folks. It's not fair. Okay, but good job, huh?
Not only that, she
Happy
has time to text us all the time.
Really? Yeah. 莫名其妙. I have no clues why it's this way. Okay, all right. God, 13 days, impressive. Okay, you have any idea how much you weigh without all the thick things you're wearing there?
I don't know. I didn't weigh that much.
My ex-wife, she weighs every day. This woman is strange. Okay, anyway, good job. I'm very proud of you. Okay. All right, have a good flight back. Okay. Any other questions? We only have 2 more minutes. Okay, so anyway, last slide here for tonight, 383, and next time we begin, we start with new slides. I don't know, I heard this too, these demon kings who do not dare appear. It is not true, you know. You need to have, when you recite mantras, it also depends on your samadhi power, okay? So mantras alone are not enough. You need, this is why I feel that our approach is more practical. We focus on samadhis, okay? And with samadhi, you can recite Buddha's name, you recite mantras, you can do anything you want with more power. Do ceremonies better, okay? All those things. So samadhi is core to the Buddhist training. All right? All right. Okay. We stop here tonight. Thank you, everyone.